It's been over 64 days since Russia first invaded Ukraine, and after over 2 months of fighting, the Russian military is still nowhere near their main goal. Today's video will go over economy issues in Russia, oil issues, the various failures of the Russian military, what successes Ukraine has had currently, and how the war is continuing to progress and some of the atrocities that have occurred along the way. Starting off with oil. The Russian oil depots have been bombed or otherwise tampered with and have caused massive explosions across the border of Ukraine. While no one has taken credit for these, and Ukraine nor the United States nor any other NATO country has even accepted that these happened, there are many videos of mass fires at oil depots in Russian territory. This is very crucial because a lot of these oil depots that are being hit are main pipelines directly to the front lines for Russia and control a lot of the oil that's needed to power their vehicles. In other news, on the military front, Russia has completely given up on the northern front of Ukraine. This is extremely important because in the northern front is where Kiev is, the capital, where a majority of operations are being run from. It's the headquarters of the Ukrainian military, and of course where the actual government is situated. And so the fact that they've given up on that main capital effectively eliminates their chances of completely controlling the Ukrainian country. It's also important to note that Putin has made this seem like an intentional ploy, and that the entire attack on Kiev was in fact a decoy so that they could pursue their interest in the south further without the full Ukrainian army attacking them in the south. In reality, it was a textbook failure for Russian forces in that northern front. They could not gain ground, and if they did gain ground, it was not friendly territory. They were still being fought against as they continued through Ukrainian territory, and therefore even as they were winning battles, they were still taking losses. People were showing up behind their back lines, taking out supply trucks, taking out various different armored vehicles, and all of that hurt the morale extremely badly, and thus contributed to the immediate, I wouldn't even say retreat, but the fleeing of Russian troops from the northern front, because there simply was not enough support there for their invasion. In better news, the Russian advance is slowing, and there is in fact hope for the Ukrainian people. We've seen that they've been extremely resilient overall with their various efforts. They've stayed strong in cities like Mariupol, which have been essentially bombed to the ground, and there's little to nothing left. There's still fighting going on. In fact, it's been so fierce and so well thought out by the Ukrainian forces in Mariupol that Russia has essentially been forced to fake a general victory over that area, knowing that there is still holdouts of Ukrainian forces in that city. And that is just one of the many cities that have shown such resilience in the face of, brutal and unrelenting attacks, without regard to who is a civilian and who is a soldier. In Russia's eyes, they're all soldiers, and it's interesting to see and shocking to see how they treat normal civilians that aren't even trying to fight back. It really drives the Ukrainians to become more and more fierce against Russian soldiers and put up more of a fight, because they know that even if they are taken in as prisoner, there's no guaranteeing that they'll be treated as civilians at all. They might be executed. All of these fears, they might be deported. All of these fears drive the Ukrainians to be a more motivated force than Russia will ever be in this fight. Once again, as we near 2.5 months in Ukraine, it's another question of when will this end, and when can we get effective peace talks to really just end the bleeding for everyone. We want to see Ukraine return and take this support from the entire world and truly rebuild and regain its glory in a sense, and really just regain its humanity. When you're taking an entire country and demolishing it to the ground, that strips away some of that civility. So I hope that with the correct support, they're able to effectively rebuild and come back stronger than ever. Reporting for Scott Center News, I'm Hayes Gabbery.